James Tavernier, Captain Tav, the set-piece specialist. Hell, you can even call him the Rangers Hall of Famer. Call him what you want. But James Tavernier's came out with fighting words. And he says Rangers have a lot more to give against Celtic in the remaining three Old Firm ties. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. We're here to talk about James Tavernier, the Rangers skipper, because he's been talking about the future Old Firm games. There is 3 left in this season, 1 in the Scottish Cup semi-final, and of course the other 2 are in the league. 1 post-split and 1 pre-split. However, James Tavernier, even though Rangers haven't won one so far this season, James Tavernier is convinced that Rangers can do better and that they will do better. So, on asked if Celtic will see a different Rangers next month, Tavernier said, and I quote, "We have to improve because we knew the performance in the final wasn't good enough from our point of view. There is way more for us to give. So yeah, definitely." End of quote. Now, as far as what James Tavernier's saying, I would agree with that. I think there is more to give from a standpoint that Rangers haven't given that much this season in the Old Firm derbies. Now, there was one game I felt like they were better than the others, and that was, of course, the 2-2 draw. I feel like Rangers were probably the better team in that one and could have won on the day, but at the end of the day, they didn't. They didn't win, and in the other 2 games, they have kind of been off the pace. So I think Tavernier is right in saying they haven't been good enough. They do need to give more, and the big question will be, can they give more? That is what we will find out. But Tav also went on to talk about how Rangers have resiliency. He was talking about how they showed in the cup final that they can be resilient. They've showed by falling behind to other teams in the league and coming back to win that they can be resilient. And this is what he had to say about Rangers' resiliency. And I quote, "We definitely owed our resilience. I feel that when we go down, that it's still always possible to get the result we want. There's been a few times when we've gone to Fir Park and gone a goal down. I've got the first goal to equalise it. But it's good to show that resilience. We're just happy that we finished the second half better than we started the first. You need that resilience as a foundation, not just this season, but in seasons going forward. We'll need that resilience and character in the team when we play for a massive club like this if we are to move forward. You can go a goal down, but there is loads of belief in the team that if we continue to play the right way, we will create our chances. We have created a lot of chances this year. We have missed a lot of chances this year. We know we can score more, and we are creating chances, so that is a positive. It's important that we have a good break and come back where we left off and keep pushing hard." So, end of quote, guys. Tavernier talks about Rangers' resilience, talks about how they are never beaten. He also went on to speak about how they showed in the cup final that they could push back by getting a goal and making a game of it in the second half. I'm not too sure I agree with that. I didn't feel like they made a game of it. I know they half the deficit. I know they brought it from 2-0 to 2-1. However, from that moment onwards, I didn't feel like there was an onslaught for Rangers. I don't remember Rangers having countless chances. I don't remember Joe Hart having to make a lot of saves. I just don't really recall this so-called resilience that James Tavernier is talking about. Now, I think what would be better personally, I think instead of talking about turning up, instead of talking about being resilient, instead of talking about how there's more to give, I think what James Tavernier and the Rangers players need to do is I think they need to show it. I think they need to show up for this Celtic game in the league and, of course, in the 2 after that. But the next one in the league I think is important because even though the big one is the cup, let's be honest, the league's gone. Celtic will win the league. That's given. I mean, the league is finished. But I feel like for Rangers to have, not to have a chance in the cup, but I feel like for Rangers to go into the cup and, kind of be seen as a 50-50 tie, they probably need to get one over on Celtic, and they just haven't been able to do that. The only time they beat Celtic since Gerrard left was, of course, the Scottish Cup semi-final last year in extra time. So, yeah, Rangers haven't really beat Celtic over 90 minutes. I feel like if they could do that in the league, it would give them a lot of confidence going into the cup. But I mean, I think with the 3 games left, I think if you offered Rangers one to win, they would definitely pick the cup. I think most people would admit that the league is gone and that the cup is not only is it a cup, it's also denying Celtic the treble. So it's like a double win for Rangers if they can do the cup, because not only are they winning silverware, but they're denying Celtic from winning silverware and from doing another treble. And Celtic don't really need another treble. They've done a shitload of trebles over the past decade. So yeah, Rangers will not want that to happen. But yeah, Tavernier, speaking about resiliency, speaking about got a lot more to offer in Old Firm games. I personally don't think Tav plays very well in Old Firm games. I can't remember how many Old Firm games I've watched and I thought, you know what, Tavernier played great there, or Tavernier was the best player on the pitch. I don't think I've ever seen that, to be honest, and I don't think Tavernier has won that many Old Firm games. I know when Gerrard was in charge, they won quite a few, but apart from that, I mean, majority of Rangers and Tav's Rangers career's been defeats in Old Firm games. So yeah, no, Tav's entitled to opinion. If he thinks Rangers have a lot more to give, then he's entitled to think that. I do agree that Rangers need to give more if they want to get the results in the next 3 Old Firm games. But I would like to see Tav, show up and actually perform rather than just talk about how Rangers are going to do this and how they're going to do that. Because you did your talking on the pitch. I mean, Fashion Sakala found that out. He called them the other mob. He called them this. He called them that, and then at the end of the game, he found that the gap was still as big as the gap between his 2 front teeth. Anyway, guys, that is it. I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Tav's right here? Do you think Rangers do have a lot more to give? I think Rangers can definitely play better against Celtic, but I do think you could say the same. I don't think Celtic have been great in any of the games against Rangers so far this season, so I think both teams can do a hell of a lot better. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'll catch you in the next one. And of course, until then, peace.